Oh, today I want to talk about the subject of trying to do something that you feel is difficult. A lot of things seem difficult in the beginning, but you have to look into the future and see the results as being accomplished. And so the frustration is not about doing something that's difficult. It's about understanding that it won't be difficult the next day. And the more you attack it, the less it becomes difficult. Like, for example, if you wanted to do 100 push-ups, 100 push-ups is simply one push-up done 100 times. It's not hard to do one push-up. It's just hard to keep your body going as you do another and another. If you're trying to lift, let's say, a 100-pound barbell or dumbbell, it's going to be easier as you work through it over time, but it doesn't get lighter. The dumbbell doesn't get lighter. You get stronger. And so you look at something in the beginning, you say to yourself, okay, well, it's difficult. But if you did this, I'll give you an exercise you can do. Imagine that you were trying to learn something and you said to yourself, this is difficult. And so I'm going to see myself being able to do it in the future. And imagine myself standing on stage or being somewhere and performing this skill, and I do it. And so I say to myself that I can do it. Here's how you make it better. You say to yourself, I imagine myself in a time that's already passed. Okay, so it's in the future, but you've made it like it's in the past. So say, for example, let's say today is the beginning of August, or the end of August, beginning of September. And so you would say, okay, on September 1st, which is in the future, I did this thing. You see, so you made the future past. I did this thing on September 1st, and I rocked it, and it was great. And I showed the skill, and people were amazed, and I was amazed, and they applauded, and it was great. Or I went in for this interview, and I was totally confident, and I got the job. Or I asked a girl out, whatever the thing is, you see yourself having already done it, and you give the result of what it was, how it went, and then you use that power to propel you forward. And so a lot of times things are not really that hard, but they take time. It's like it doesn't take a lot of energy to plant a seed, but you have to wait for it to grow. You can't just force it to give you the results of the crop that you were intending upon. So if you want to do something, if you wanted to speak a language, if you want to have a skill, juggle, sing, whatever it is. Like, I was watching this video the other day about impersonations. People that do impersonations of like Morgan Freeman and tons of people that they do, walk-ins, and you get people who do impressions of Robert De Niro. Just, it goes on and on. And what the guy said was that he was able to do a really good impression of Morgan Freeman. And he showed it, and it's fantastic. And this guy, he sounds just like Morgan Freeman. I mean, he showed himself demonstrating lines in movies, or doing ads, voiceover, and even doing just talking. So anyway, the point I'm trying to say is, when you hear this guy speak, you say, he really sounds exactly like Morgan Freeman. He must have a great, gift. Well, he said that it took him 4 years to be able to do this. 4 years. He said, but it's not a talent that he couldn't learn. Okay, something that it was a skill that he learned, and he got talented at doing it. But it wasn't something he was born with. He wasn't just able to do impressions. And so when I saw that, I said, wow. Because all of us can do some kind of impression. But the point is, this guy was able to show that it's not something that is innate. It's something that you can actually learn. Okay, and so it's the same thing. I don't want to do impressions. I don't got 4 years of my life to commit to that. But having said that, if you look at a person who wants to be anything, let's say someone goes to college, when they first walk into school and they matriculate into the school, they don't have the skill. And then they come out 4 years later and they have a degree and they have a skill and they can go off and make money on the job doing that particular thing that they trained for over 4 years. So 4 years is not a long time. But if you look at time intervals as being something that you focus on, you'll be able to do that. So you can actually learn a skill in 20 hours to be pretty good at it. But you got to put in that half hour a day or an hour a day, whatever time you have committed to doing that. You can even put in 5 minutes or 15 minutes. It's not how much time you put in, it's how much consistency you add to that time that you put in. So if you're putting in 5 minutes a day and you do it for a week, that's fine. You've got that time in. Okay. Now, 35 minutes is not gonna change your life, but it's better than doing nothing. If you put in 10 minutes or you put in half hour, an hour, the point is you can put in a lot of time, but you also have to come back and review. So if a person does something and they're not able to flourish with it, it's because they didn't review. It's like if you're trying to learn words in a foreign language, you can't just jump from lesson to lesson without being able to say you can speak the words that you find in the lesson. You have to, the pattern that I use is you listen to it once, and then you just hear it, and then you go through it 3 times. First you go through it a little slower, and then you try to speak the words slowly, and then go a little bit faster, and then you rest. You come back again for the next session, and then you speak a little bit faster, and then the goal is that you should be able to say every word in that particular course, no matter how long or how short it is, before you move on to the next lesson. And a lot of times you'll find words that are used over and over again. Like in Chinese, they'll use the word wa, it means I, or ni, you, or we, woman. So you'll have these things, or hui, a lot of words. In French, they use the same personal pronouns, and so you're going to find that it becomes kind of familiar. And so when you go out there, the attitude is, if you were doing, let's say, a rap and you saw freestyle over rap. So you can, how, for example, there's a rap song that came out in the 70s called Rappers Like, and they say a hip hop, a hip, hippity the hip hop, you don't stop rocking to the bang bang boogie, up to the boogie, the beat, whatever. Okay, and so you can see that, and you say, okay, now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. Now me, the groove, and my friends are going to try to move your feet, and you move on. You can hear that. But if you were to say, okay, now let me do freestyle, it might not go as well. Okay, because freestyle is being able to think as you rap, and what you do there is you find a word and then you rhyme the next sentence with the last word you said to keep it going. Okay, and again, I'm not a rapper, but the point is, any one of us can hear something, and then after a while we can kind of derive it, but being able to be creative with it takes a bit more time. So when you learn dialogue in a language, and you would say, for example, I go to school every day. You would say that in Chinese, 每天我去小学, every day I go to school, or whatever. If it's not situational, then you won't be able to use it. If you don't say the word school every day, then why learn the word school? But if you say I eat, Okay, so 吃饭. Okay, 我每天吃饭. I eat every day. So you say, I like to eat this kind of food. 我喜欢吃那些菜, whatever. It does make a difference. As long as you're saying things that are going to be in your everyday life, then you start to use them. You start to get something out of them. But you have to put in the time to make sure that what you're doing makes sense to your future goals. It's not just about doing it just to pass time. It's about saying, okay, I have a goal and I want to do this in the future. Okay, like when you drive, you have to get out there and drive. You have rules, and you learn. Like, for example, remember I've learned how to drive. They said when you make a turn, you look for a stop sign. As you turn onto a street, you look for a stop sign, and you keep your car on that side of the road where the stop sign is. Now, another thing was, if you didn't see a stop sign, you're probably going down the wrong way of a street, because stop signs are always in the corner. And so there are many things that you learn, and then they become like just the way you drive. So I don't think about it. When I drive a car, I'm not thinking about, where are my hands, where's my foot, where are the stop signs, people on the road, where are they at? Because I train myself to always think about these things. So my subconscious mind automatically just keeps me in line with these things. And so again, when I first started driving, I was so afraid of my attention span that I couldn't even look over to the radio because I couldn't take my eyes off the road. But now I can do that. I can do a lot of stuff. And what happens is people, they get comfortable and then they get lazy. So let me make one last point, and then I'm going to bring it back to the beginning where I said things have to be done over time. When it comes to doing something, you have to give yourself over to it. For example, if I'm going to speak Chinese or French or any language, I have to give myself over to that language. And so for me, it's not easy for me just to get examples, because you have to kind of jump into it. It's like if a person were to say to you, I'm going to teach you how to swim, and I'm going to show you how to swim, but we're not going to go into the water yet. Then they're not showing you, they're discussing it. But once you get into the water, then you just swim. You don't talk about it. So for me, if I'm going to speak Chinese, I'm going to just speak Chinese. I'm not going to be breaking it. I'm not going to do Chinglish, which is English and Chinese, or I'm not going to do a mixture of French and English. I'm going to try to put my mindset into the language and then just start speaking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video of myself speaking only in Chinese, and I'll make another one of myself only speaking in French, and so you'll get the idea. Okay. So that's something that I've told myself, I put it out there. And next time I make a video, even though you don't understand French or Chinese, I will only speak in Chinese. I only speak in French. Okay? So, again, it's a goal that you have. See yourself having already done it. And then just feel comfortable that you can reproduce that feeling and create that result that you want. This is John from Life Academy. Have a great day. Again, thank you for watching. Please watch a second time. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit notification so you won't miss a video I produce. And also share and do your best to be your best, because we need you in this world. Your gift is important. Thank you and have a great day.